Yo, what's going on guys? Ian77 here. In today's video, we're going to be having our 50th upload on the channel, so I'm going to go back to Hog Firecracker EQ here, kind of as a bit of a commemoration of how far we've come. And yeah. Alright, hopping in the first match here, I think we're going to be up against the Lumberloon player, which I know a lot of you guys struggle against, so hopefully I can give you guys a good example here of how you want to play against it. It is a bit of a tricky matchup ever since the Tesla nerf. Like, you can't really stack Teslas nearly as well as you used to, but I feel like with the Ice Spirit in there, you do have a chance. That's why I really do like the Ice Spirit in this deck, because it helps a lot against Balloon decks, against Sparky decks, and also kind of against the Queen. I feel like Ice Spirit is actually super good against the Queen. And we're actually going to hog in the back here, which may seem a bit strange, but no reason not to, because he's going to NATO it either way, and it might force him to, like, leak an Elixir or two, so, no reason not to. Yeah, he did end up activating King, but I don't really care too much. And we did get a pretty good start here, got some nice EQ damage, and, we're stacking our Firecrackers very nicely as well. And by the way, guys, you can also stack Teslas in this matchup. That'll help you beat it a lot, but I do recommend waiting until double Elixir to pre-place a Tesla before you see them use a balloon or anything, so always be a bit careful with that. And yeah, so in single Elixir, they're usually going to defend your hogs pretty thoroughly, so you'll just have to kind of get EQ chip damage most of the time. Alright, I hope that balloon doesn't get a hit. Okay, we're going to defend perfectly there. Yeah, as you can see, like, if we you know, if we didn't have, like, the perfect timings on everything there, that balloon would have got a hit. So you can see how important it is to place everything at the specific time that, you know, is intended. Alright, so honestly, it is a bit more difficult since he is going same lane as us, because he's going to be stacking his bowlers and stacking his dragons, and we don't really have the best way to kill it since we don't have, like, a fireball. I mean, Firecracker is good, but it's not always quite enough, so it can be a bit difficult, but the way you kind of get past that is usually by Tesla stacking, because you can stack Firecrackers, but that's usually not going to be enough to kill their pushes, because they're just going to NATO all your Firecrackers in most of the time, so you also do have to Tesla stack sometimes to beat this matchup. But yeah, we're EQing his towers down really nicely, but and yeah, we're actually going to get a pre-placed Tesla off here, because he already spent double dragons there, so I knew he wouldn't go opposite lane there, because it just wouldn't make sense for him. And he is going to go same lane here, but we can always have a second Tesla if we need. Alright. Oof, and unfortunately that balloon's actually going to get a hit. I was kind of used a bit of a panic Tesla. I thought he might go in with the freeze there, and for some reason our Firecracker was targeting the E-drag, so his balloon did get a pretty annoying connection, but not too bad of a spot for us. Our Tesla will still help us a bit. That's on the field, so not the worst situation. And the Lumberjack will get kind of shredded by that Tesla, so yeah, we're definitely still in this. And the nice thing about going same lane is that we can just, like, always Tesla in the same lane and just, like, pre-place those Teslas and not worry about him ever going in the other lane with something. And we're just going to EQ here, because he did freeze on defense. That's 4 Elixir, so we do have, like, a few Elixir to spend on offense in that Earthquake, so don't mind going with that. And we're always going to be over-defending these Inferno Dragons. Just never want to give him a chance in case he decides to go with a freeze at some point. And yeah, E-Drag is going to be a bit annoying, but luckily our Tesla was targeting it, so pretty nice cleanup here. And we're just going to go with a second Tesla if he decides to freeze or something. Just going to go with it anyways, just preparing for the worst. It's always good to predict when they might go in with the freeze. Okay, and now we just need, like, 2 Earthquakes, so hopefully we can get it off. You're going to hog as well, force him to not, like, fully commit to offense, and if he does try to, then our hog will just take his tower. And yeah, we do get 1 hog hit, so that's going to be a pretty nice first win. And I will BM him a bit here. This guy does BM me quite often as well, so yeah. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against Oyasu, who is another really good hog player, so gonna be interesting. Looks like he's trying to draw me, because we did sometimes tie in the past, but just want to play for the YouTube video, so let's see how it goes here. He does have mini Pekka, which is a bit interesting. Could be a mini Pekka Hog deck, I guess, which is gonna be an interesting matchup. I honestly don't face it too often, so we're gonna see how we do here. So he is playing Hog here. Honestly, Hog mini Pekka isn't as easy as it looks, though, because like you would think it's good since you have a building and they don't, but at the same time they do have like EQ, so they can definitely get through your defenses sometimes. And mini Pekka also a little bit annoying, because like if they just mini Pekka, then like block the bridge with like an ice golem if you try to go in with like a ice spirit to freeze their mini Pekka, you're never really gonna break through. So and they do get counter push, so not as easy as it looks, but we'll see what we can do here. I'm also kind of wondering if he has queen or not. I would assume he does have queen, but there is a chance he could be running like princess or something, but seeing the guards, I kind of doubt it. Alright, so he's gonna ice golem, so we can't go in with like a firecracker or something on his mini Pekka. And we do get one really nice hog hit here. The only scary part is that he is out cycling us pretty well, but luckily we can just defend pretty easily with the Valkyrie log there and the firecracker helping out as well. Alright, he will activate King Tower here, but shouldn't matter too much in this matchup. So yeah, in this matchup you kind of just want to cycle EQs, and you always want to make sure you don't go with over aggressive hogs, because it does give them a free mini Pekka, so you kind of have to be a bit careful with it. Okay, we are going to EQ here. I was kind of like hoping that he would go in with guards, but he does make the smart choice of going with mini Pekka, so well played by him. And he does go in with the EQ, but not targeting our Tesla. I guess he just wants to get rid of our firecracker, so worked out pretty well for me, I guess. And we're going to go in with the hog here to distract the queen. Gonna firecracker as well, expecting him to go in with the mini Pekka there. Alright, he's kind of like trying to cycle us with the EQs, and honestly the only kind of scary part here is going to be his queens, because when he plays a queen in the back, he is going to have like a 3-card cycle as opposed to our 4-card cycle, so we do have to be really careful to not get out cycled here, but yeah, stuff's going pretty well so far though. And yeah, we're always going to be going with those Teslas high, of course, and yeah, okay, he's going to make a pretty big push here. And he is going to Hog Rider. We are in a bit of an awkward spot. Okay, looks like he is going to get quite a lot of damage here. This might be GG, but hopefully our Hog gets a hit. Okay, luckily our Hog did get one hit, and our Firecracker might splash. Okay, he does block it, but yeah, just going to laugh a little bit, but I kind of dislike playing against Queen, that's why I'm laughing, but hopefully we can come back here. It is a bit late in the game, and his Queen is kind of ruining us, but he did waste the EQ there, so our Tesla should get a lot of value. We do still have a chance to win this, because it is possible to break through the mini Pekka sometimes, so hopefully our Hog can manage to sneak a hit pretty soon here. He does defend that Hog well, but it's basically all going to be up to our next Hog here. If our next Hog does get a hit on his tower, we might be able to win here, but if not, that probably is going to be GG here. But Oyasu is a really good player. So. Okay, he actually goes in with the log on our tower rather than the Hog Rider. Oh, wait. Okay, I think we just won here. A really close game against Oyasu. He played really well there, so pretty nice win here. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against this guy. So yeah, not too sure who this is, so just going to try to feel out what he's playing at first, and we'll go from there. Okay, so he does have a Dark Prince here. Could be quite a few things, but probably going to be a heavier deck, seeing the Dark Prince. Alright, Ewiz as well, so I mean, no deck really has Ewiz and Dark Prince, except probably Pekka, so yeah, looks like it is going to be Pekka here. And yeah, I'm not too worried about the bad Elixir trade with the Hog Rider there, because I know that Tesla will clean up the Ewiz and the Ram Rider. I mean, it's not a bad Elixir trade in itself, but the Ram Rider presents quite a lot of counter push, so that's why I'm saying that. Alright, and interestingly, he does have Ghost and Dark Prince, which isn't usually what they run, but I guess instead of like a champion or something, he decided to use the Dark Prince or whatever, so might make it a little bit easier for us. I honestly find playing against Pekka Ram Rider is a pretty fun matchup for Hog EQ, because like, I feel like it is your matchup if you play really well, but it's also a really fun matchup because there's a lot of outplay potential, especially on your part, like with activating King Tower, with doing all these fancy plays, so always really enjoyable to play against it most of the time. And we're gonna have a pretty slow start here. Don't want to like hog too often because I know he has like quite a few counters, like he can E-Wiz Bandit it, and it looks like he has Snowball as well, so we can even like Snowball Bandit to fully counter our Hog and get like a Ram Rider or a Pekka, so no point in really going in with the Hog here, but I'm just going to try to get that damage that I'm missing out on through our Earthquakes, and he does go with a Pekka in the back here, so I'm just going to Hog other lane. Alright, he will go in with the Bandit here. That's honestly kind of what I was hoping for, because we might be able to activate King Tower off here. Gonna Firecracker in the corner to cycle to the skeletons, and just so it doesn't disrupt the Bandit from activating our King Tower. And yeah, looks like we're gonna get it here. And fortunately for us, the Ram Rider is gonna go in front of the Pekka, so pretty clean defense here so far. And we're just gonna Ice Spirit on this E-Wiz to allow our Hog to get one more shot, which is always really good. Alright, so he's gonna Pekka in the back here, but not too worried about anything, to be honest with you guys, because honestly Mega Knight's quite a bit more scary. And yeah, we did actually go with the Valkyrie, predicting like him to go with a Bandit or a Ghost or something, so really nice prediction there by us, and we have pretty nice defense here. He is going to have Lightning though, which does make it a little bit harder, but with the lead that we have, I'm honestly not worried still, because I know we can just cycle an EQ for his aggressive Lightning that he went in with there, so pretty good stuff here. I'm gonna go with a Hog and Ice Spirit, so if he Ram Riders, the Ice Spirit might be able to freeze it. It does end up hitting the tower. Looks like the Hog won't break through, but yeah, and we're just gonna get a Valkyrie off here. It'll counter the Ram Rider just as well as the Tesla would, and it's also gonna finish off the Dark Prince and E-Wiz, so that's why I went with that there. And yeah, just really clean defense here. That's kind of what you have to do against these bridge spam decks. I'm not sure if you guys ever struggle with Pekka or not, but I feel like you guys can take away a lot from this gameplay, because like this, you kind of want to play in a similar way against Mega Knight as well, and just like other Ram Rider or bridge spam decks. You can kind of see like that you don't want to be like super aggressive at all times. You kind of want to be pretty calculated in your plays, like you know, like going with Hog at the exact time that you know they can't defend it well, or the exact time that they go in with like another unit. So yeah, and Valkyrie getting a ton of value as well on his Ghost and Bandit. He will get a Ram Rider charge, but we just need a EQ log at this point, so probably gonna be GG here in a second. Yeah, always feels really clean beating these matchups, so GG there. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're gonna be up against this guy once again. This is the Elixir Golem player. I feel like I've been facing him in nearly every video recently, but this time we are playing the OG Hog Firecracker deck, so it should be quite different from the normal, when I normally face him with Hog Queen, so let's see what happens here. I honestly do like Firecracker a lot better in this matchup, because you can just stack them really well. And wow, we actually got really lucky there. We just went with the EQ on his tower, and he ended up playing a Barbot right into it. And yeah, even though he has Barbot, I wasn't afraid to cycle an EQ, because I didn't really want to cycle a Firecracker, because I know if I cycle a Firecracker at the wrong time, he can punish us with a big Golem push, so I'd rather spend anything except a Firecracker there. Alright, and we actually get a ton of Hog damage there, because I guess we caught him in a really awkward cycle, which is the pretty nice thing about this matchup, is that you can often catch them in weird cycles. And by the way, guys, when he does go in with the Battle Healer here, you shouldn't be afraid to Firecracker, because that means that you can't really make any, or he can't really make a good push after he wastes his Battle Healer, so always fine to go in with the Firecracker after that. And we are going to be protecting our Firecracker with the Logs and the Ice Spirits against his Barb Barrels. And for some reason, he does waste the Tornado on the Firecracker. Not sure if that was worth it by him, but I guess the Barbot does defend pretty well still for him, so Yeah, but pretty good stuff here. We do kind of want to make sure we close out the game as early as we can, because if we let it get to triple elixir, that's always going to be difficult, no matter what deck you have, to be honest, unless you have like a rocket or something. So yeah, but he did waste his barb hut, and he probably won't use like a NATO, because he wasted it already earlier on a firecracker, and he's just gonna let that go. But luckily we did get the early firecracker, so hopefully we can get to another one. Unfortunately, our firecracker doesn't get protected by the ice spirit, but we're gonna get a really good log there, making his baby dragon go in front of his whole push. And he will go in with the NATO here on our firecracker, but we do get a Tesla on top of his E-Drag, but things are getting a bit sketchy here, as they sometimes do against E-Golem. Our early firecracker dying is really kind of costing us right now, but luckily we do get all the elixir back from that E-Golem, so hopefully we can still defend here. As long as we defend with like a few hundred HP, we could still have a good chance of winning here, because he doesn't have any good direct damage except like a tornado, which is kind of useless. So yeah. Okay, he's gonna baby dragon here. It does lock on our tower as well, but okay, we are gonna barely survive there, and he doesn't have NATO in cycle, so he has to barb hut this. And our firecracker does get a shot on the tower, so this actually might be GG, because NATO doesn't do enough here. And yeah, pretty nice win here, GG's. Okay, hopping in the next game here, we're gonna be up against this man, and no idea what this guy is playing, so just gonna try to get back to our Hog Rider as quickly as possible to attack him. And he does have Tombstone here, so probably gonna be either like Graveyard or Lava or something like that. Okay, it is gonna be Lava. And I know I went over this many times, guys, but for some of you new viewers here, it is always better to cycle your Firecracker first and then attack with the Hogs, so that way if they like Fireball your Firecracker or spell it down or something like that, you can cycle back to another one as quickly as possible. And he will go with Skelly Drags here, so we kind of just have to protect our Firecracker for dear life. But yeah, it is honestly a bit nicer to have Fire Spirit in this matchup to finish off the Lava Pups really easily, but Firecracker just doing an amazing job here. Really clean defense by us. We do have to kind of watch out for his next push, because now we did waste the Firecracker, so we won't have Firecracker in our hand if he goes in with another Lava here. But yeah, we're just gonna hog here. Not really a wrong time to hog in this matchup. You can always kind of just send in the hog as long as you know you can defend pretty well here, so yeah. And he is gonna Lava again, but I feel like we're just gonna Tesla on this Lava here. Just gonna go with it in that position, because I know we didn't have Firecracker in cycling. We need to either cycle 2 Teslas or 2 Firecrackers, so just decide to go with the Tesla there since Firecracker was out of cycle. And we did go with the Tesla a little bit high there, as you can see, just because like if you place the Tesla early and it's hidden underground, sometimes the Loon won't go for it unless you actually play it reactively, so that's why I did that there. And he is going to Fireball our Firecracker, but really clean defense here once again. I feel like all these games here have been pretty clean, so really nice stuff here. And honestly, in double Elixir, this matchup doesn't get too much worse either, because you can kind of just stack Teslas really easily, so they can't really break through anyways. And we're going to log predicting his guards so we can finish them off with the EQ. If you know your opponent has guards, sometimes you can go in with like the log plus EQ and finish them off really nice and kind of catch them off guard. So, really good play by us here. And defense honestly shouldn't be too hard, because we just have to stack 2 Firecrackers. The only kind of annoying part is that the Firecracker, like when you play it early in the corner, always kind of like goes towards the center of the map, so kind of put us in a bit of an awkward position where we kind of had to give him that really good fireball value, but Firecracker just chipping down that Lava Hound and pretty much kills it, and now we have 2 Firecrackers, and he probably doesn't have enough time to actually beat us here, so really good stuff. And yeah, pretty nice games here, so that's gonna be GG. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.